Contender Series 2025, week number 10. This is the weigh-in recap show, full card predictions, and the betting breakdown. I'm looking forward to talking about each of the matchups on this card after seeing the fighters on the scales. So make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn the post notifications on, and make sure you share the video too. And also note, I'll be live for the entire card Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Don't miss the Contender Series finale episode, and earlier in the afternoon, Tuesday, the Contender Series pre-show will be live, where I'll be going over the in-depth prop betting side, since as of now, the props on this card are very limited to what we got available. So make sure you tune into the lunchtime show tomorrow afternoon. Let's jump into fight one. We have an interesting matchup, an Italian. Mario Mingaj versus Wes Schultz here. Middleweight fight, and I'm telling you, we have an Italian Paul Craig. Mingaj is guard polar, throw up submissions from bottom type of stylist. I'm going to pick him to beat Wes Schultz here. I feel like he's actually got a pretty decent skill set. The one thing I don't like is that he pulls guard, but his best performances, he's on his back, throwing up submissions. Guy's got nasty triangle chokes. What, he's got like 4 or 5 of his wins by triangle. His stand-up doesn't look too bad either. Works a really nice long jab, good straight shot. He likes to smother his punches and get real close, tie up, work against the cage, and then pull guard. He's a shiesty guard puller. It's been working well for him. And I just feel like since Paul Craig retired, there has to be somebody, and he is anointed from me as the next Paul Craig from that part of the world. He's Italian instead of being Scottish. I just got a feeling. I think that Mario Mingaj's game is pretty decent. His submission skill set's legit. His stand-up's not bad. He's a good athlete. It's not like he's this unathletic jiu-jitsu guard puller or like, you know, a Claudio Puelles type guard puller where it's just stupid decisions. Like, he really seems hyper confident on his bottom game jiu-jitsu, and he's right away shooting for the triangle and using those legs well. And he's got long legs at 6'4". I feel like at 185, maybe he can pull something off and get into the UFC against a guy in Wes Schultz who's okay. Wes Schultz is kind of a reckless wrestler. He's got awkward stand-up, kind of wild, puts a lot of pressure on you, looks to drag you down, has better takedowns, but also ends up in bottom position a lot when he's on his back, tends to be a bit of a victim, does throw up triangle attempts, though, from bottom position, too. But I think that the jiu-jitsu favors Mingaj. I feel like the wrestling favors Schultz. The stand-up, I think Mingaj is better. Schultz striking is just kind of weird. Like, you know, it's a lot of pressure and wild stuff, but like he doesn't have much skill. It's really like reckless abandon in the stand-up, and maybe he lands. He hopes to land a big shot. But normally he's looking to take people down and beating them up. I don't think he's submitting Mario Mingaj. I think Mario Mingaj is going to end up submitting him. Wes Schultz gas tank is a red flag. He could end up fatiguing after round number 1, and I don't think he's stopping Mingaj in the first round. I'm going to go with the Italian. I think there's another Italian entering the UFC. We finally got one. It's at middleweight, and the middleweight division is really the Italians' weight class with Vittori, Alessio Sakara back in the day. Paul Craig retires, and we got a shiesty guard puller from Italy this time. I'm going for Mario Mingaj to pull it off. I'm going to believe in dreams. There he is. This is the definition of the Italian dream here. Mamma mia, mio piace pasta. Oh. And there he is, Wes Schultz on the other side. Listen, come on, bro. Just look at these two. The aura around the Italian is serious. He seems like he's got mafia ties in the family, all right? Look at the cold-blooded killer stare. Versus what? The surfer boy from South California. You know what I'm saying? I was going to say South Carolina, but, you know, same thing works. Come on now. I'm going with the Italian. I think he can pull it off. I think on the ground, he's going to have better jiu-jitsu. I think that we'll end up on the ground for sure. And I think Mingaj is going to be able to find the kill. I'm going Mingaj, I should say. Mingaj. I don't know. Mingaj sounds better. You know, it just fits better. I remember my grandmother always saying Menage a me, and I don't even know exactly what it means, but I think it's some profanity. Mingaj, I think that he has a profane performance. All right. I think he pulls it off. Plus 165. How is it that he's at open 3-1, and then the line is flipping completely on its head? and now he's a plus 165. Like, how does anybody feel this much confidence to Wes Schultz? Like, betting on Wes Schultz at minus 190 is nuts. Betting him at plus 250 is fine. If you want to bet this fight, you know, it's kind of one of those matchups where you'd probably favor calling an underdog or a fight ends inside of the distance. Like I said at the beginning of the show, we don't have all the prop lines. I don't even have the over lines here. So when you're going to tune in tomorrow afternoon to my lunchtime show, we will discuss the props in depth, kind of like a mock version of Propaholics, but for Dana White's Contender Series. I think Mingaj by sub. I think he's a good underdog at plus 165. He'll fight for your money. I get it. He pulls guard, and, you know, that's a red flag, but it's not like Wes Schultz is this phenom. We saw him lose to Mansur Abdul Malik, got controlled and lost to Dylan Budka. I think that Mario can take his back and strangle him, or even throw up a triangle from bottom. I'm going to believe in the Italian dream. I'm going to go with him to pull it off. Mario, Mingaj for the upset, fight number 1. And Italy got themselves another UFC fighter, one of the few. Next fight, we got heavyweights. My God. Azamat Nuftillaev versus Jovan Leka. I'm going with Jovan Leka to win this fight. I look at Nuftillaev and I see overrated as fuck. 17-1 with 1 draw record, okay? You go and watch this fight here. Edevan Santos beat the shit out of him, nearly knocked him out on multiple occasions. Somehow, he gasses, ends up, you know, Nuftillaev pulls something off. Respect to the Uzbek. I think I botched his name at the start. I'm sorry. It's Contender Series, man, and it's one take and go. I'm not playing around. This guy is overrated as hell. He's scary looking, you know, 17-1-1. He's got a decent single leg. He's got okay ground and pound, but like most recent fight, right? He fights Daniel Elbalviev. This is the fattest Dagestan fighter I've ever seen. He makes Shamil Gaziev look like a goddamn underwear model. And then you look at the fight before. Fernando Batista. He couldn't pass Batista's guard. And then he's throwing some like ground and pound shots from guard and he gets the stoppage, TKO. You look at him in the first round, he gets thrown and he's on his back. Like, I really think this guy is scary to look at, but actual skills, I'm really not impressed. And honestly, he got saved against Edevan Santos because Santos landed the illegal knee. If not, Nuftillaev is probably getting knocked out in that fight, and he's never even here. 17-1 is a good on-paper record, but I question his skills overall. I don't think it's all that impressive. I feel like outside of good single legs and, like, you know, heavy blitzes of power shots and working from top position, I'm not impressed by him. Like, I think Leka is a lot better at striking. He's younger. He's 23. We got a 23-year-old heavyweight prospect who's 10-2. He's got dangerous kickboxing, smooth stand-up game with good power in his right hand, nasty teep kicks to the body, good knees in close, good elbows in close. I would say he's a light vulnerability to single legs as he starts to fatigue. In his most recent loss against Vinikov. Okay, note that Vinikov is a wrestler. Note that Vinikov is taller. Okay, he's 6'6". Azamat, 6'1", significantly smaller. Okay, so he fought this big giant and he went 5 rounds with him. The guy didn't do much damage to him. He was just landing the takedowns in the later stages of the fight and controlling him. He ends up losing it on the scorecards. He should have lost, yeah. But early in the fight, the takedown defense was there. And note that, like, Vinikov is like underrated monster. Like, nobody knows of Vinikov. Like, I started digging into him, doing research on this card. Vinikov has a record. You're like, oh, he was 15-5. Dude is on a tremendous win streak. Absolutely destroyed Edevan Santos, who nearly destroyed the side of Azamat Nuftillaev here. So for me, I think Jovan Leka has already went long with a guy better than Azamat. And then I look at 3 impressive wins in a row. This guy here was his comeback fight, all right? And I'm not even going to try to pronounce Broenstrup. This dude literally fought scared for majority of the fight and survived. Like, he was just trying to say, hey, I went the distance. But when you try to fight against Leka and you try to win, which is Contender Series, I'll be shocked if Nuftillaev doesn't, you run into some big shots. The guy's dangerous as hell in the striking department. He's got weapons with every limb, okay? From the punches to the elbows to the knees to the body kicks to the head kicks and all. He throws nice head kicks. Very surprising dexterity for a 6'5", 260-pound heavyweight. He's got the weight and size advantage in this fight. I think that he's going to put Nuftillaev out. I think he finishes the job that Edwin Santos starts. I think that Leka by KO makes a lot of sense here. Azamat Nuftillaev, outside of having the EV at the end of his last name, I'm just not impressed. Jovan looking like a fucking thick boy. Holy shit. It's kind of like Action Bronson had a giant son. And then on the other side, Azamat Nuftillaev, deceptively jacked, honestly, man. I think got that fugly look to him. My God, he looks angry. Then there's the face-off between the two. You telling me little Azamat's going to drag down this fucking freak? The guy's got a fucking chest and a half over here. I don't know what his ratio with wingspan and fucking front to back might be the same. Holy shit. I don't think we're going to see Nuftillaev get him down. I think Nuftillaev's going to try to shoot. He's going to be caught in a striking fight, and he's going to get pieced the fuck up. I think that Leka's striking is way better. Leka's going to knock him out. He's going to land big shots, and he's going to put Nuftillaev away. I'm going with the side of Leka. He's an underdog. Give me the dog all day. 23-year-old dog with UFC potential, serious potential, versus Azamat, who I'm just not into. I'm not feeling it. Minus 123. He opened up at minus 250, so already the odds have come down a lot. And for good reason. Like I said, we don't have any props. I don't have the overs or unders. I think that Leka knocks him out. Give me the underdog. Go dog money. I think we're going to see Leka beat him. I think Leka's powerful, big, strong. Takedown defense is good, especially in a 3-round fight. Like, yeah, he lost a 5-round. But in a 3-round fight, he'll be fine. Nuftillaev is not that guy, bro. He's overrated. Got fucked up by Slim Trebesi back in 2022, and it's not like Slim is that good. And I'm telling you, man, this Edwin Santos fight, you can go and watch it. It's available on YouTube. Go check it out. You're going to say, this guy's fucking mid. Do you remember Edwin Santos? If you've been watching the channel for a long time, we've covered Edwin Santos before. He got ran through by Rizvan Kuniev on the Contender Series. He's one of those guys that he's fought against, you know, a lot of mid-tier opposition with mixed results, okay? He's just not it. He's just not it. Maybe, I don't know. Did I? I think I did Kuniev versus Santos picks on Contender Series when I first started the channel years ago. If not, I definitely remember watching him. I think I did predictions, so maybe you got to dig back to one of my early videos from several years ago. Edwin Santos nearly knocking this guy out. Leka all day. Jovan, the chosen one. We're going with Leka by KO. Next fight. Michael Oliveira versus Victor Valenzuela. I'm going to predict that Michael Oliveira wins. He looks good. His last fight was tough. To be fair, he lost the first round, but I'm not ready to jump ship on a prospect like this just because, you know, Aldo Pereira gave him a decent fight. Aldo Pereira also beat, what's the Italian kid from last season on Contender Series in his next fight. Now the name, it's going to kill me if I don't remember the name. We'll check it after. I got to talk about the matchup. Michael Oliveira is a special athlete. He's a paratrooper in Brazil. He's very technically sound in the stand-up game with a good, strong, long jab, slick movement, good explosiveness on his punches, knockout power in both hands, nasty calf kicks, really good range management and timing on his shots. On the opposite side, Valenzuela is a very fun brawler, though. In your face, willing to absorb shots to land shots of his own. He'll take bombs to fire back. He'll sit in the pocket and absolutely slug. Definitely like a ballistic swarm out the gate. And he does have good knockout power. He gives people no room to work, really no time to think because he's putting it on you from the start of the fight. Muay Thai background and very much like a heavy-handed, violent Muay Thai background, not like a sit in the back foot and just throw leg kicks and move Muay Thai background. Guy starts fights really quickly and he looks for finishes. He's a violent fighter and he definitely in a brawl could turn this into a close one with Michael Oliveira. If Oliveira's sitting in the pocket slugging, Valenzuela's got serious power that could be a difference maker. But Oliveira's footwork is superior. Oliveira's distance striking is better. And I think Oliveira has better timing on his shots, right? Valenzuela can force chaos and land big, whereas I think the side of Oliveira has better setups, better feints from the outside. Simply put, he's just more of a technical fighter, whereas Valenzuela is that ballistic dog pressure like a monster. Nice knockouts coming in, like over guys that, you know, were local favorites in matchups. LFA, Fury FC, for Oliveira, coming off the fight against Aldo Pereira, who's a difficult guy to fight. He's a tough Brazilian journeyman. He's also a former paratrooper in Brazil. Before that, he was just putting people out easy. He's still got the God-given gift of the death touch. And of course, you respect, Pereira surviving against him, but that doesn't mean he doesn't find the chin of Valenzuela here. I think he's live to knock him out. But if need be, a 3-round war between the two, I'd predict that Oliveira comes out on top of it. Looking at the fighters on the scales, let's check them out. Let's see what we're looking at. There's Valenzuela in shape for sure. Looks good. Obviously, Oliveira also in shape. And then there's the face-off between the two. Little size advantage for Oliveira. I like that in this matchup here. I think that he's going to have the strike speed advantage, distance striking edge. A lot of the factors that I like in an Oliveira fight are also favorited towards him. Where I'd worry with Oliveira would maybe be against like a power hitter that matched him in size. He's about 3 inches taller. We don't have the reach stats, but I'm pretty sure he's got a few inches in reach too. I like the chances of Michael Oliveira boxing up Valenzuela and catching him coming in. Valenzuela, he relies on his chin. And granted, that can work, right? Sometimes. But he also could definitely get flash KO'd by a big shot against Michael Oliveira if he's coming in with reckless abandon. Oliveira, too skilled, too quick. I think too slick. And I think he's too precise, too. I'm going to pick the side of Oliveira to handle business here. As far as the odds for the fight, Oliveira is minus 220. And then Valenzuela plus 185. I feel like Oliveira is live to put him away. I mean, you look at his fighting career. The guy is 7 KOs. He's got the one decision. Okay, one decision in his last fight. That doesn't mean that the next one's not going to be violence. He's a knockout puncher. On the side of Valenzuela, he was KO'd earlier on in his career, back in 2015. So many years ago. He actually had a long break. It's almost like he's got a story of 2 careers. 2016 to 2021, he did not fight MMA. I've been impressed with what he's done recently. Beat Shinsho Azai, who was in the UFC at one point and actually is a former victim of Michael Venom Page. Bruce Whitehead was expected to beat him. He fought in LFA. Valenzuela is a good fighter. I like his style. It's fun to watch. It's straight aggressiveness, but I'm looking at the talent and I'm looking at Oliveira's potential. I think it's near limitless. He's 27 years old. He seems to be a freakish athlete with very good technical skills. I think his striking from the outside is sharp, good low kicks, nasty jab. I think he finds Valenzuela trying to enter the pocket and ends up knocking him out. So the pick is going to be Michael Oliveira to get another violent KO and put Valenzuela out cold in this fight. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we have Marwan Rahiki versus Anais Mulumba. I like Rahiki to pull through in this fight. I feel like Mulumba is the poor man's Morgan Charrier. That's the exact vibe I get from him. A poor man's Morgan Charrier. He's a good athlete. He's got decent wrestling. He's got some power in his hands. Does a good job with overhand punches and closing the gap in close, like ripping big flurries against the cage and backing people up. But like in his matchups that he really thrives in, it seems like he's got a bit of that grappling edge. But like if you look at his most recent fight, he's getting clubbed with straight shots by a dude with a losing record, man. And like he did lose this fight here by submission back in 2023. A while ago since then. Was that 2024? Not even that long. A year and 5 months ago. I think it was 2 years, 5 months ago. But he's put together a nice 3-fight win streak. But it's like, the competition doesn't jump out at me. Yes, it was a nice submission finish, but the guy he's fighting, like he's getting clipped in the first round with straights. I don't know. They were like slip knockdowns. Like there were clean shots and he ended up on the canvas, but he got up a couple of times, round number 1. I look at Marwan Rahiki and I see danger. Dude's striking is nice. Power in both hands with slick speed. Boxing skills that like remind me of Ben Whitaker. You guys have seen him. He's viral, right? He does all these crazy theatrics and it's like all over Instagram reels. You'll see it on X sometimes. You'll see it. He's doing all these like crazy shit, kind of being cocky and just ripping shots through. Rahiki reminds me of that. Now, he doesn't do the same, cocky taunts and things, but as far as hand speed, it's really good. Special hand speed, given the gift of speed for sure. Nice power on his punches, good punch combinations, rips to the body nicely with the good left hook to the body, good straight right up high. I really think that he's like one of those forward pressure gunslinger strikers that throws pretty much everything into all his shots. On the ground, he could be taken down, but I think that his grappling skills are sound enough here. I don't know what Mulumba's true level is. It's like not like the competition blows my, whatever off. It's more, he's a good athletic fighter with some aggressive abilities. He's decent in a brawl. He can land some takedowns. He's a mediocre wrestler, but it's not like he's high caliber. And then we got Rahiki, who I look at the stand up and I'm like, okay, that's special stand up. There's real power in both hands. It's a real danger factor to strike with him. Anais needs this fight on the ground. He better start shooting early, but he could walk into something trying to wrestle. And I think seeing his last fight, he's getting clubbed with straights. Like, I think Rahiki's putting him out. I'm going to go with Marwan Rahiki to win by KO against Anais Mulumba. I think it's going to be a violent knockout and a pretty badass performance for the prospect here. Let's check out the guys on the scales. I'm telling you, we got Morgan Charrier right here. Come on. Is that Morgan? You squint, bro. That's Morgan Charrier. Same build, same height, same haircut almost. There's Marwan. And then there's the face off between the two. It's crazy they listed Marwan at 5'10 and Anais at 5'9 because it looks about 5'11 to 5'7. All right. There's a massive height difference between the two. Distance striking favors Marwan Rahiki, though he's one of those guys that likes to close the gap and throw hard and get in your face. And, you know, Mulumba could rip some wild shots in a brawl, but he's getting his light shut off. Rahiki's going to knock him out. I see him melting Mulumba. It could be a big shot to the body, right, to the chin. I see punches landing a lot, plenty of shots getting through for Rahiki, and I don't think Mulumba stands up to it. So I'm going with Rahiki, and I'm going to say KO makes the most sense here. He's a minus 230 favorite, whereas Mulumba sits at plus 195. I like the chances of Rahiki looking good and KOing him. I like the KO prop, probably. I don't know what it's sitting at. We don't know yet. We'll find out tomorrow. I think that he gets a knockout. I think more often than not, the side of Anais Mulumba gets clubbed with some bombs. Rahiki seems like a special talent, and I'm going to believe in what I've seen with the knockout ability, with the hand speed, with the punching power. Rahiki by KO. I think he can turn up nicely. Coming off a win over a 6-1 fighter last time. Decent opposition. He's fighting over in Australia. I think he's ready for a Mulumba level guy, and I think he puts him out. So Rahiki by KO. Next fight. We have the co-main event, Juan Diaz versus Juan Kwon. Wow, the battle of Juans, man. The South Korean Juan versus the Peruvian Juan here. Oh, the pick is hard for me on this one, guys. I feel very torn. My initial call was going to be Juan Kwon. Reason it was hand speed, punch power, straight shots are really accurate, piston type fucking hands. Has a very stiff right, power to his left, to the body, rips punches in combination with hyper speed. Seems to be a God-given gifted striker, like nasty, nasty strike speed. What I don't love, though, and I must say this honestly, I don't love that he's previously been fighting at, 143, 144 pounds in one championship. He's a one championship title challenger. His most recent fight was for the belt. Lost quickly to Fabricio De Andrade. De Andrade's very good. He's beaten John Lineker. He's one of the better bantamweights, probably in the world. He's probably top 25 at the worst. The worry with Juan Kwon is dropping to 135 against a proper test here. Juan Diaz, 14-1-1, relentless Mexican fighter. A relentless fighter who's, yes, striking first, but has a grappling option. So my initial instinct was Juan, but I spent some more time and I look and I watch. And when I meant Juan, I meant W1. And I'm seeing the worry I have with the weight cut is the durability. And something about the scale is interesting as well. I want to bring this up. If you look, right, Juan Diaz, good size, ready to rock. I feel like Juan Kwon looks a little fragile. He looks a little extra skinny. And I know that Juan Diaz has some jiu-jitsu. And I know he's got a chin and he's walking through big shots. I'm going Juan Diaz. So the initial instinct was Kwon. But I actually, before I started recording, I was going to start recording. I said, wait. I was like, let me just watch a little more. I'm watching a little more Juan Diaz. I'm like, something about Juan Diaz I like. And Tram Gym. Okay. He's over at a good team. I feel as though he has that true, like, South American kickboxing style where they can take shots and they hit hard. Rips nice body kicks and nice low kicks. The worry about Kwon, he has a bit of the glass stomach. Now, granted, perfect liver shots, but we've seen him put out in 2 fights against the same man with body work. If you're Juan Diaz, you're going to the body here. I just don't think Kwon's going to have the durability. Some of these South Korean fighters are savages, but then we run into a few that are a little fragile. I think Kwon might be a little fragile. I know for a fact Juan Diaz can walk through fire. And I think Kwon is going to put it on him early. And I think he could have some big moments early in the fight. But the young Juan Diaz is going to be relentless. The young Juan Diaz will not be deterred at 27 with a 14-1-1 record. I'm going to predict that Juan Diaz wins. And I feel like he's live to potentially submit Kwon in the later stages. We've seen Kwon back taken and submitted earlier in his one championship run. I feel like he gets out-muscled in this fight. I'm going with Juan Diaz. I'm not going with W1. I'm going with J1 for the W, all right? So Juan Diaz to get the win is my prediction here. I think that he's going to be able to walk through some of Kwon's big shots. I think Diaz is going to be able to answer and fire back with big shots of his own. I think he could potentially stun Kwon to the body. And then I think Diaz has the better grappling between the two. He's going to be the physically stronger guy. And he's been fighting at 135 and one championship. They don't cut weight like they do in the UFC. That changes things. How's Kwon going to look? I'm going with Diaz for the win. I think he can pull it off here. Something's telling me Juan Diaz is going to bring it. Slight underdog, Juan Diaz at plus 120. He opened up at minus 125. Juan sitting at minus 140. We've seen some fucking line flips here. This is a wild-ass card. Looking at the betting lines, multiple fights have flipped on this card. I see why Kwon would be a pick. Obviously, I initially thought about picking him because his hand speed seems really special. Seems to have some real God-given gift of power, especially for being as skinny as he is. Definitely willing to engage in a war and throws a lot of shots, but it's like Diaz has skill, though. He's technically sound, and he's still a developing guy at 27 with a nice 14-1-1 record. He's got a beautiful win streak put together, whereas Kwon's coming off of a bad KO loss last time. If I'm Juan Diaz, I'm thinking about that Fabricio de Andrade fight. I'm like, okay, the body seems like a vulnerability. Finish some combinations with some big kicks if Kwon is backing off. I think we could see Juan Diaz put down Kwon with body kicks or a knee to the body and then potentially take his back and strangle him. I like Juan Diaz to pull it off, and I really do think he's live to get it inside distance. I wish we had the props. I wish I could give you guys an in-depth prop look right now, but it's going to have to wait till tomorrow because Juan Diaz, I'm curious what the line is going to be for inside distance. He's a slight underdog here, but he's the favorite for me. I think that he wins. I see why he opened up as a favorite. And you know what? You look at, oh, well, he's had decisions after decisions in his past 3. He's a 5-round fighter. He's got a gas tank. So he's from Entram Gym, okay? Already a green flag. And he's fighting 5 rounds over in Lux against decent opposition. And I think he's getting better and better. And I don't know. With Kwon, it's like unknown. Could he end up starching Diaz? And oh my gosh, Kwon is the prospect to watch here at 135 pounds. Put him on the fast track? Maybe. But something tells me he's getting beaten. And I'm going to predict Juan Diaz to win inside distance. I think he's live for a submission or a knockout here. And I'm going to go with the Diaz side to pull it off. So the official call is Diaz to get it done. He handles business. Next fight on the card. Main event of the evening. Freddy Vidal versus Levi Rodrigues. Freddy Vidal's here for part 2. And he's taking on somehow somebody similar. Another undefeated Brazilian prospect. I'm going to pick Freddy Vidal to win. Levi Rodrigues is really not good, though. Like, I'm watching him fight, and I'm like, damn. He's just a wild Muay Thai slugger. Throws big right hands. I mean, shit, if he lands on your chin, he'll knock you out. Throws chaos, closing the gap with flurries. 2 fights ago, he fought at the MMA University 1 event against Johnny Pejea. Guy has some striking skill. He done some kickboxing. He fought not that Anderson Silva, but the Anderson Silva from Ultimate Fighter several years ago. If you know, you know. If you don't know, it's not that relevant. It doesn't matter. He fought in kickboxing, and he did 2 matches there. So like this guy on paper looks real trash, but he actually had some good stand up. He had Levi Rodrigues backing off of him, right? Ends up hurting his shoulder to get the stoppage, but like Levi wasn't coming forward with that same confidence. Now, of course, Freddy Vidal on the opposite side doesn't have that good a stand up. Freddy Vidal's a wrestler. Freddy Vidal's got to drag you down and get on top. Freddy Vidal's got his second chance here. He fought 5 weeks ago on Contender Series Week 5. Now he main events Contender Series Week 10. They're giving him a chance. He missed weight last time on the short notice fill-in. Came in at 210. He was 204.5 today. I think Freddy Vidal can end up in top position. I don't know what Levi Rodrigues' gas tank looks like. I know he's got power in his hands. It's just reckless abandon and crazy-ass strikes. God damn, the main event is probably between the 2 worst guys on this card. I'm going to say Freddy Vidal can take him down. He could wear on him. What's Levi Rodrigues' gas tank going to look like if he's pushed in the wrestling? The guys that he's fighting are just slugging with him on the feet. And yeah, he's got knockout power. He's got a nasty right overhand. Clubbing shots. Sits in the pocket and slugs really hard. But what else does he offer? I mean, his Muay Thai's okay. It's just... You look at some of these guys, it's just, man, he doesn't seem UFC ready at all. I really feel like either one are, but Freddy Vidal's got, the experience on Contender Series, the big upset last time. Last time, the guy he took on in Felipe Franco was more grappling based, whereas Levi Rodrigues is more power punching based. I feel like Freddy Vidal has rose to the occasion last time. I feel like he's rising to the occasion here. I have to favor him going out and pulling off a nice win. And look, a month ago, look at this. You see this? These 2 fought only a few days apart from one another. Levi Rodrigues in the same week got his last win, and it was a quick KO. Blitzed through Alan Ribeiro. It's just like the level doesn't impress me, man. That's the biggest issue I have with Contender Series. We're hearing they're going to be doing a 20-week show. There's certain guys on that aren't UFC level. I'm going to say Freddy Vidal outdogs Levi Rodrigues, ends up in top position. Levi Rodrigues tired on his back. I don't know what his wrestling looks like. I don't know. Yeah, he's, obviously got some grappling. I know what his stand-up looks like, his reckless power. And if Freddy Vidal just sits in the pocket and slugs with him, Levi Rodrigues has the power to put him away. But I think Vidal is going to be in on those legs, looking to drag him down. Going to be annoying, sticking to him like glue. I think he's going to be in better physical condition, better shape. Let's check out the scale here. We saw Freddy Vidal last time pull off the later stage submission. Here's Levi Rodrigues. Looks kind of goofy as hell, honestly. Looks like a good schoolboy. There's Freddy Vidal with the abs. Coming in shape this time. Then there's the face-off between the 2. I think that Vidal's grappling is superior. Serra-Longo prospect. I see him taking down Levi Rodrigues. I see him pressing him up against the cage. Freddy Vidal is like a young Eric Anders vibe. That's what I get from him. I don't know what Levi. I know he's got a big, wild overhand right, but what else? His skills didn't blow me away. I didn't watch him and say, wow, that's a hell of a fight for Freddy Vidal. I'm like, nah, it's winnable. It's really winnable. And I don't know how Levi Rodrigues' takedown defense is at a high level. Sure, he can shoot off some mediocre guys, but Freddy Vidal, at the very least, he's got the Contender Series win. He trains at a good gym. He's in really good physical condition. He's got the Contender Series experience advantage, having done it 5 weeks ago. I'm going to pick Freddy Vidal to pull this thing off. And he's an underdog. Why? What about Levi Rodrigues deserves a favorite status? At open, he was plus 130. Freddy Vidal plus 120. You know what? We have had numerous line flips on this card. This is like essentially all pick'ems fights that could go either way. This is going to be a wild-ass Contender Series card. To finish out the show this season is Vidal Rodrigues. I'm going to say Vidal's the upside. I think the grappling is better. I think the top control is better. The athleticism is superior. The physicality is going to be a factor. I think his cardio is going to be better. Levi Rodrigues' striking is dangerous, but he smothers his shots. I see Freddy Vidal being able to catch him in the clinch and pin him up against the cage and then work trips from there. Even if it's just smothering pressure, I think he can control Levi Rodrigues on the inside and neutralize the beast. What's Levi going to look like in a 3rd round of a grappling heavy fight? I have no idea. I'm going to predict not great. I'm going to go with Freddy Vidal for the win. I think he pulls it off. I think he's live to get a later stage finish too. But if it needs to be a decision, it is. But I think preferably submission or a TKO. I think Freddy Vidal third round is live. Levi Rodrigues is going to be tired late after a grappling heavy fight, and I think Vidal might mount him and pound him out or potentially take his back and strangle him. I'm going Freddy Vidal for the upset in the main event. Those are the picks for the final week of Contender Series. Now, we're not done just yet. I wanted to glance over some parlays. Of course, like I said, so many of these lines have flipped. Freddy Vidal opens up as a favorite. He's now an underdog. Juan Diaz opens up as a favorite. He's now an underdog, okay? Mario Mingaj opens up as a favorite. He's now an underdog, all right? Nuftillaev stayed as a favorite, but line has come down a lot. Oliveira opens at 4-1. He's now minus 220. Kind of crazy. This card has had a wild amount of line movement. What, 3 of the fights were flipped, and they've all gotten a lot closer. It's because we have some dog fights. But looking through, what do I like? If Jovan Leka has any ability, I think he wins. I think he beats Rahiki. I think he beats Nuftillaev. And I think Rahiki wins too. Plus 196 for those two. You trust Entrom Jim? You trust the dog? I think Juan Diaz has got that dog in him. Plus 521 for those 3. You think Freddy Vidal pulls it out late? I think he can outdog him too. Plus 1328 if he went out and pulled it off. Now, Oliveira live to win. Plus 1978 with that for the sweep. Plus 5,000. I like the side of Leka as an underdog. I really think he's quite live to win as long as he's defending takedowns, which I think he will if he get a knockout over Azamat. On the side of Rahiki, I think he goes out and gets a finish. And I really feel like Freddy Vidal is going to outdog Levi. And then I feel like Juan Diaz is going to outdog Kwon. You don't have to match it all up like that. You want to go 2 dogs? Bam, bam. Plus 341. You go Rahiki, plus 517. You don't like the heavyweight, you just like Juan Diaz and Rahiki, plus 194. I want to go more in depth with parlays tomorrow afternoon, so tune into Lunchtime Live. I'll be live around 1:30 tomorrow, and we'll be talking the props, and we'll do parlays as well with the prop betting in mind and figure it all out, especially when we have the list of overs. I definitely think there could be some interesting over-unders to touch on this card, and I want to see what the props are looking like. I want to see the value on those prop lines. But I must say, I'm liking Leka as a dog. I'm liking Diaz as a dog. I think Vidal can outdog him and pull through over Levi. But, of course, the unknown of him getting caught with a big right is live. I think Rahiki's got a big edge in striking over Mulumba. I think Mingaj can pull it off, or Mingaj, I should say. But, listen, Wes Schultz, he's always in your face. And, betting on a guard puller, never a great idea. Oliveira should be the superior athlete. But if Valenzuela turns it into a brawl and Oliveira obliges, could get caught by some crazy shit. So bet this thing intelligently. This is not the gambling advice. This is the AJ advice. I'm telling you what I'm thinking, all right, where my head is at. Do your research, see where you line up with my research, and, that's where the best results come. I hope you guys enjoyed the final Contender Series breakdown of 2025. Make sure you tune into the final Contender Series Fight Companion tomorrow, Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. 6-fight card. I'm looking forward to it. I love you all. Thank you all for tuning into the show. Smash the likes on your way out. If you're new, subscribe. I hope you guys that joined for a first time stick around. I also got my picks for UFC Vancouver linked up in the description. So make sure you check them out, all right? Let me know in the comments what you thought of the picks. You like the underdog calls? You like some of the chalky favorites? You got some different ones? I want to hear from you. Nothing to say in the comments, though. W in the chat to boost the algorithm for your boy. I see you all in the next one. Much love. Peace out.